and welcome to another wonderful episode of Effect House Office Hours. Do you notice anything different? I bleached my hair and I am very excited. I feel like I've always had black hair forever and I just thought it was time for a change. So I'm rocking out this new hair and I plan to go back and bleach it again. So a couple you guys will be seeing more dynamic hairstyles from Celine soon. But with me, as always, is my wonderful friend and very talented creator, August. Hi, August.
Hey, how's it going? I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, tell me a little more about what happened during your weekend. Did you do anything fun?
Yeah, so I went to the orchestra to see the LA Philharmonic Orchestra, which was conducted by the Dirty Projectors, one of my favorite bands of all time. So that was like a crazy collaboration that I've never expected. Uh,
Wow.
Yeah, so crazy to be in an orchestra hall. It feels like a wonder of the world, just
Yeah.
like how big everything is. It's crazy.
Wait, before starting this live, I was asking August was asking me what I did for my weekend, and then I was totally blinking, and I think it's the bleach that removed my memory. But August, you said that, and it reminded me. I have a friend who works at the LA Philharmonic Orchestra, and I met up with her this weekend, so you might have seen her perform.
Wow, that's so crazy.
So when you say LA Phil, it just like popped into my head, and I was like, wait, that's what I did for the weekend.
Wow, what are the chances?
I know. Hi guys, I see a lot of familiar faces and nicknames. I see Vladimir, I see Heather, Haley Kapaz, hello, hello. I see Paula, MA3 designer. Um, we have Danny and Tweaks. So welcome everyone. Ooh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Guys, I made a very interesting new update to my cat situation. So here's my sofa where I'm streaming from. But look here, they got a tiny sofa next to my sofa, and they're just sleeping on the mini sofa. Isn't this so adorable? Sorry, I'm spending the entire time just talking about me and my cats. But I did see a very awesome TikTok video from one of our ambassadors, and they were doing, that TikTok challenge that said, like, yes, of course, I'm an effect creator. Of course, I am bringing my iPad everywhere I go. Yes, I'm an effect creator. Of course, I'm enrolled in effect creator rewards. And one of the things that she mentioned during her video was like, yes, I'm an effect creator. Of course, I go to office hours just to see Celine's cats. So giving you guys the content that you want and need. Sorry, and August. Going back to August. Um, would you bleach your hair?
Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
So we were just talking about this a little bit before, and the thing is, like, because he has like facial hair, if you bleach your hair, like, do you also bleach facial hair? I don't know.
I think you just have to own it. I think you just have to
You just
like
own it, the two looks.
find a way to make it work.
Sounds good. We have one poll going. I think it's a funny one. How long do you think you'd survive in a zombie apocalypse? The options are zero survival skills, immediate death, 1 week, 3 months, survival god. So we'll come back and see how our audience does in surviving the zombie apocalypse. For me, I have zero survival skills and I cannot run for the life of me. In a literal way, I guess. So I think I will die one week.
California me. Oh, 1 week. Yeah, probably California me 1 week. But Ohio me
Oh,
probably will never die because of
never die.
basements.
I personally love squirreling and squirrel, like squirrel. Did you scroll? And collecting things and making pickles. So if I wasn't living in a small apartment and if I had my own home in Ohio, I bet I could survive for a year just snacking off of the things I've pickled over the years. But because I'm in the small LA apartment, I don't think I'll survive for that long. So good point bringing that up. We have an awesome new template that we want to show. What a wonderful transition. A couple of amazing templates have been created. Can you tell us what they are and how you can use them?
Yeah, so previously, I think a lot of people remember the photo dump template. Wow, we have so many templates now. It's crazy that you actually have to kind of look through them and search for what you want. But you might have remembered photo dump. This is basically photo dump 2, what we've got here. It's called photo slideshow, and it'll be very similar to photo dump 2. I'll just briefly open it up for maybe 1 minute just to show you. We've got a lot of different transitions and different ways that you can let users upload a bunch of media user images. And then we'll just we'll go into the real one, the slideshow. But yeah, as you can see in the tips here, it tells you there's this weird list where it shows numbers associated with different types of transitions. And that's kind of a key. So if you're ever going to use this template, just make sure that you know that the key is up here. And then when you want to make your effect, you can use a bunch of transitions. So these are all the keys. So if you want an effect where it just takes in a bunch of user images and just does a bunch of flash in transitions, then you can just add this or make a whole list here with zeros, since 0 means flash in transition. So yeah, I would recommend just trying all the different transitions and finding which ones you like, and then you can make some different basically animations. So this will just help you make a repeating cycle of animations to show off a bunch of pictures. These are really popular. That's why we made a second one. So, if you can use this to make something even better, then I think your effects will be pretty popular. Let's go back and we'll look at this new game. It's so fun. So this is the sliding puzzle. The first thing to notice is that when it loads, the puzzle is pre-shuffled. If we restart the effect, it's in a different arrangement. So it's like logically, dynamically shuffling so that you get a different puzzle every time. And when you click on the pieces, they move into the empty slot. If you click on a piece that can't move in the empty slot, it has this nice little shake to let the user know, hey, this piece can't move right now. So there's a lot of little refinements that really make it feel good. I really hate when I'm playing a game and I tap on something that I can't move or something and it just doesn't react. So this is a great example of how to make users still feel like they're fully in the game. It has a move counter and a timer so that you can choose which one you want. Some people like doing a speed run. Some people like more of a strategic, who can do it in the fewest moves kind of thing. So, turn one off or keep them both, whatever you want. Let's just take a look at this behemoth of a subgraph. There's a lot of things that you can change here. The texture resolution will kind of just change how it is changing this image. So for instance, if I just make this a really big thing, you can just see that the image is stretched. So this is just an easy way to, if you have a square image, you would just put 512 by 512. If you have a different size image, just make sure to update that. Besides that, I'll say the difficulty sorter is basically how many pieces it will move when it's shuffling, which you would be very surprised. 6 is pretty hard. It's literally just doing 1, 2, 3, 4 whenever it's shuffling at the beginning, and 6 moves is a lot. I was kind of surprised. And then the other pieces just kind of let you match it with your image design. So as you can see, if I change these colors, maybe we'll change this to like some very different color, you can see that this is the background of the slider puzzle and the edges of the pieces and all that. So yeah, that would be how you would customize it to a specific image or something. If we look inside, I'll just show you this whole top section, this whole big part up here that's like disconnected from the rest of it. There's plenty of comments that you can read. Oh no, the color wheel of doom. I have too many tabs open or something. But yeah, this entire top section is all initialization. So we have a lot of things like setting all of our variables when it starts, pretty standard. We have this section up here that creates an update timer where we can keep track of our time, our game time. It's just always running. We have all these things that are setting different visibilities and creating lists and making sure to save the correct order of how the pieces are arranged to like define here's the winning correct picture. And then we save how our current order is. And we just create that into a list so that we can basically do all of these other things. Like we set up the texture, make sure that it's the right resolution so that it looks not stretched. And then we slice it up into a bunch of pieces with this convert image to tiles. And then the color setting just pulls in those options that I mentioned before and sets the pink on the background here. And then we have the initial empty tile. So we basically pick one of the 9 tiles and choose randomly which one to delete. And so that one is hidden. And then we shuffle the puzzle. And this is kind of a crazy thing. Shuffling the puzzle, like I mentioned, it just moves the pieces, but it's random. There's a bunch of checks to make sure it doesn't like repeat the same like puzzle state so that it doesn't end up too close to the original like winning condition. So it's pretty complex to make sure the puzzle is equally fair each time it shuffles. It's really cool. And then here we have our raycasting parts. So this is where we're playing the game. It's checking where you're tapping on the screen, which piece you're tapping on. And notice we're doing raycasts instead of screen image. And that's because all of the pieces are actually 3D objects. This is like a different way to do it. I feel like we have a lot of screen image and 2D game examples. So this one is like, hey, you can do 2D with 3D. Here's some raycast examples. So if you have trouble with raycasts, here's a great place to like look at one example of how it's done. And then we look at the item and then basically just move it into the empty space if it can. Don't move it at all and make it shake if it can't move. I think that's what this touch feedback is. And then we update the array to reflect the current state so that we can compare it with that winning array state to see if the user has won yet or if they're still trudging along. And then the swap tiles makes the transition. And then we just do little things like increase the move count to change that text on the screen and stuff like that. And so that is basically a high level overview of like all of the pieces. If any of those sound useful to you, I would highly recommend just going in and diving into the subgraph and picking it apart and playing around with it. Maybe even make a slider puzzle and add your own twist to it. But yeah, I think this is a really fun one because it's just simple enough that I think you can come up with a unique twist or something.
I agree with you. Speaking of, our community manager, Greg, has created a fun effect using this template. You guys do know about the sad hamster craze? In TikTok, there's currently a meme going on where there's this like very sad looking hamster and its eyes are so big like boba pearls. And he's created this effect and I'm trying it out. I'll show it to you guys. Wait, it has to play the sound. The sound is the quintessential experience. So, oh no. It was not the sound. Oh, but like it's the da, 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 the sad masters. I'll bring it up for you guys. But in the meantime, let me show you. Wait, do you guys actually know? After I bleach my hair, my Face ID doesn't work, so I have to type in my password every time. Okay, back to the main point. Look, you just move around the hamster, and then when it completes it, it shows you, and it's fun. So if you haven't already, go check out Greg's game and publish your own puzzle effect. I want to see what you guys can create. Oh, wait, this actually reminded me. If you think just the puzzle interaction itself is too boring, you can add components because at the end here, when you complete a sad hamster puzzle, I've added this bow because it seems like a lot of people are putting bows on the little hamster, but you can do it so that when you complete the puzzle, you'll get a little face sticker, and if you move around, it tracks it. So not only are you using this template, you are modifying it and making it much more interesting. So there you
Here,
go.
here, Celine, why don't we show them how to add stuff like that at the end?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, let's go back.
So if we go into the subgraph at this bottom right part where it's doing all of the, you can see game complete is becoming true, like a very good sign that this is what happens when you win the game. Then we could put a sequence node here so that we don't interrupt the other logic. We'll just say the first thing that this sequence node does is just whatever it was doing, leave it alone. And then we'll also output. So whenever it does its scale feedback thing, after that, it'll output, and we can just say game complete. And then we don't have to mess with the inside of subgraph at all. Now we have this output that just happens when we complete the game. And we could just do a face sticker. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we could just do a face sticker, set visibility. Oh. Set visibility. And then just attach that. And then just make sure that the visibility is off when you start. And then I'm a little afraid to actually try to beat the game to show it working. What if I can't do this? I'll just do a little bow. I'm sure there's plenty, right? Yeah. Clown bow. That's my favorite kind of bow. And then we'll just replace it here. Oh, clown bow tie. Oops. And then we can change the difficulty to 3, and maybe I'll be able to solve this. Oh, clown bow tie. Okay. Dog head. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait. Did it disappear? Oh, weird. The game complete didn't happen. Well, that's good that we tested. Well, you know what? Oh, show win image. We don't have that selected, and that's why. So realistically, I would hook up this sequence node further back. That's good. I love testing and finding stuff like that because then this is why I used to stream game development. I love that people can see that I don't always know the answer and I have to figure it out because like a lot of times if somebody's a game developer, you think they just sit here and just pump out like all the right answers all day. But really it's just a lot of failure, but keep going. So now if we do it, oh, here we go. It did that. Well, okay. I would say what? Oops. One more. I'm trying to like click the puzzle, but also look at the little nodes at the same time. But while I'm working on this, maybe we could see what the first question is.
Yeah, we actually have a question regarding this template. Danny is asking, I have a question on the new sliding puzzle template. I worked on it a while ago and found out that there are some initial conditions that are unsolvable. Does this template have this problem? I think this is a pretty new template. So maybe the one that you've worked on. Can you clarify a little bit about like when you worked on it? But I believe that this should be pretty new.
Yeah, this template just came out, I think maybe last week, and we did make extra sure that it doesn't have unsolvable conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So this one might be a good replacement for whichever one you were using before.
Perfect. That's great. And I see that Paula Casado is on the chat, and she's asking, "Oh, Celine, is it a new look or a blonde generative effect?" I think that is so funny. And I actually wanted to give a shout out to her because you are the one that helped me make the big leap to blonde. Because Paula has this awesome effect that shows you how you would look in different hair colors, and they're the different quadrants. I actually have it up right here. And see if you, ta-da! Wait, can you guys see the screen? And then if you tap on it, you can also change the different hair colors as well. So you know I'll be using this effect again to try to see like which color I should dye it to. But thank you, Paula, for making this effect. I am not even kidding. I literally used your effect to decide whether I should go blonde. So thank you, thank you.
Oh, so you want to know the solution? When I clicked in the asset library to add it, I accidentally clicked to add it to the project. So there's a second clown bow tie I was turning on. That's behind the puzzle.
Oh,
So I was like, well, wait,
oh.
I'm turning it on. I can see it, but I was turning the
Guys,
wrong one on.
sometimes the we think like, oh my gosh, like I worked so hard on it, like why is it working? And you think it's going to be like a big problem, but it's literally like you didn't put a semicolon at the end of your coding lines, or you have two dog stickers that you want to get rid of. So
Classic. But yeah, so if you'd like to make something happen at the end, there you go. Problem solved.
perfect. Thank you, August, for solving that. And I'm really glad that we can do this on the stream so you guys can see that we are also struggling, and it is normal for people to struggle while we're trying to make a new effect. And I hope that you guys are also encouraged to create your own effects as well. So
Yeah, never give up. You're probably 1 second away from figuring it out.
never gonna give you up, never gonna get you down. Okay. Luca has a question. I have a question. I was just trying to make a TikTok effect, which is a challenge with poses, which people need to do. And they want to give a score from 0 to 100 when they do the pose. So I asked them like, hey, how do you want to measure if a person did good or not? Or is it by how fast you strike a pose, how many poses you can strike? And then they replied, no, they will try to do the pose, which is random in 5 seconds. And after 5 seconds, it will give a score on how good they did the pose, which rolled randomly. So,
Is this a full body pose, I guess?
I think they're talking about like maybe hand gestures,
Oh,
or I don't know. Let me double check. Please let us know, Luca, if you are talking about like whole body poses. Like, are you like you fitting in like a body outline, or you doing like hand poses, like the ones that are provided on Effect House Poses? So let us know. And while we are waiting for an answer for that one, we will answer a question from Paula. Hi, August and Celine. I have a question. If I add a 3D plane from Effect House Assets and apply Clock Simulator to it, how can I get it to have an attachment vertex with another 3D object? Oh, just one thing to go before we start. When Mingus was doing a live demo of the cloth simulation, he says the default 3D plane for Effect House doesn't have enough vertexes. So instead of it looking like really clothy and smooth, it will have like the squares that makes up the plane will be very big. So he offered like a 3D object file that you guys can use, or you guys can create your own using Blender. So yeah, you can look into that.
Yeah. So to understand the cloth physics, there's a couple things. So the attachment points are basically done with this cloth configuration component. Now, I wish I could zoom in, but the cloth configuration component, you can actually put multiple of these on. So if you have two cloth configurations, you could have one that's green and one that's red. Oops, it has to be opaque. And like these will just denote like if a vertex is painted this exact color, like if you have like I'm talking down to the hex code FF00000, you have to have it the exact same. And that if your vertex is that, then it will move that vertex. It'll attach it to whatever transform you put here. So if you want a vertex to be pinned to some object, you have to bring it back into like Maya, Blender, whatever your 3D software is, and just paint each vertice that you want to be attached to an object. And if you want multiple objects, just paint them different colors and just write down whatever that exact value is. So this flag, if I had some green values somewhere else, I could attach another part of the flag to something else. But right now, you can see I just have the left two corners painted red. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other detail that you would need. But yeah, just make sure you understand how to vertex paint in your software and make sure you get the exact color. And then as you can see, this transform that it's attached to is just this random empty flag attachment point. I just put it right here because that made sense to me. And if you move it up and down, if you want to use a transit by time, you could make an effect where the flag raises too. It's very dynamic. So hope that answers all the questions.
That would be a fun effect where if you like scroll on your page like this, it raises the flag, and then maybe you can compete to see how long it takes for you to like take it to the very top, but you have different components like the wind, or you have like a bird that squawks by and then drops you down, and then you are trying to raise the flag as fast as possible.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, I love game effects where the input isn't just tapping, where you could add like a swipe or something.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. One more thing, I want to know like how is the cloth being attached at the 2 points? How do you do something like that?
So that's the cloth configuration. So in the mesh itself, those vertex points are painted these colors. And then this cloth configuration component is the piece that's attaching it to those points. So it'll let all of the other pieces just simulate cloth, but then these vertices are like locked to a specific transform. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Paula is saying, oh no, I understand. I didn't know it was something to configure in an external program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
And we have Noland on the chat. Whoop whoop. Mosel TV is here. Hello, the spectacle is here. And I have Abdelhak saying hi. I just joined. Hi guys, welcome. We're super excited to see you here. Oh, Luca provided more explanation. Luca is saying, yes, I want it to be full body.
Okay. Hey, I've done that before. I actually did that in an old tool where we didn't actually have a tool, and I wrote it entirely in code. The whole effect. So the first thing you're going to have to do would be add the full body avatar drive tracking. So with this, let me remember. I think in our asset library, there's a default skeleton, or maybe it's on the website.
While August is looking for that, I just wanted to show you a game that I think it was a collaboration between Haley Catpause and Unifix. And they've created this awesome effect where you kind of have to match your body to this cutout outline. And this was such an amazing collaboration. I think they did it to celebrate the Singaporean event, and it was so amazing, and you guys go check this out. Were we able to locate the skeleton?
I think this is I don't remember where I got this, but I think I got it on the website. So this is like the body rig, and then I think if we want, we can just parent this under the body avatar drive. Let's see. If we do match rigging, it seems like it works, but I don't see it. I wonder. Let's see. Well, we don't really need to see it, but it would be good. Maybe we can maybe we can try adding body avatar drive to the object. So that would be in, let's see, AR capabilities.
Guys, I linked the website link on our learning resources where you can download the rigged body onto the comment section. So if anybody wants to follow along and try this out, you can find it in the link.
Oh, okay. So then body avatar drive is only available here. Follow body position, maybe uncheck. But yeah, as you can see, when I attach it here, it maybe it's because the preview, she's just sitting too close. I think it needs you to be a little further away. And then if we go back, we can follow body position. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So that's a good thing to know. If you have the previews where the people are sitting close, it's actually not going to recognize a full body. So when you're making an effect, that's why we have in the asset library, there's the show full body. I wonder if I can find it. Oh, I think, yeah, there it is. Show full body. So this is a really good one to add to your project. If you're ever doing anything with body avatar drive, I highly recommend adding this GIF and just basically you can do whatever you want with it, but I would say until they show up full body on the screen, keep it up there. And then you can, you can go in here and you could disable this whole camera if you want. So set visibility. This is just a good thing to understand how to do. Set visibility off. Let's see, body detection. Here we go. So we have this body detection node, and when it begins, we make our we turn off our whole 2D prompt here. So now watch what happens if I switch the camera to full body. Then it's not going to be there because the person has already shown up. So yeah, this little set of 3 nodes here, or you don't even need this one. Just select whichever object you want to turn off, which for me, just the whole 2D camera. I don't have anything else there. This will make it so that people understand they just have to back up. Very important. I've seen a lot of really good effects, maybe not get as popular just because people didn't realize they have to show their full body. Anyway, after that detour, we've got the body in here. Now, this is how you're going to figure out your poses. And it really depends. It really depends how accurate you want to be. If there's like a pro level way to do this, in between level way, and a simpler way. So I would say the simplest way is okay, so if you do it the simplest way, I would say you're putting the actual overlay of the pose on the screen, and they actually have to match an overlay right onto it. So for that, I would say you're going to need a distance node. You're going to want it to be vec3. I guess you're going to want it to be vec2. And then you would choose one of these bones. So you would choose like the hands. Let's just get one hand. We're just going to do a demo with one hand. Get the position of the hand, and then you're going to do a world to screen. And so you're getting the, you don't actually want the position, you want the world position. So you're going to have to get the world transform info first. That might be a part that would be easily skipped. So we don't want this. We want the actual hand here. So world transform info to make sure you're getting the actual position of it instead of just the local position. And then the camera is just going to be the camera that's the 3D camera, basically. And then this will be your screen position. So let's see. That's the screen position. You're probably going to need the pixel position, which I'll show you a handy tool that I made, and then I finally uploaded to the asset library so you can all get it. Oh, you know what? In the new version, you don't even have to do this. You can say screen to pixel. And look at this little download symbol over here. That means that it's from the asset library, but the search directly pulls it in. So you can just click download. So now that is downloaded, and you can just drag it right in. You didn't even have to open the asset library panel. So then you have this pixel, and then you say, okay, for my pose, I want let's duplicate this 2D foreground, because like I mentioned before, I turned off I just turned off the whole camera before. So let's just have another camera. So this, let's just say left hand position. So if you're defining a pose, you'll have this left hand position. You'll want to make it pretty small. The smaller you make it, the more clear it is the position that you want the hand to be. So, I would probably find a picture or an icon of a hand if I wanted to do the simple version. Or you could actually have the poses, and this could just be, an invisible, this could be an invisible piece. And you would just put it on top of your picture of somebody doing a pose. And then, so you put this somewhere on the screen. And then we can now use the position of this. As long as it's not like offset by some parent, you can just directly use this value. But if you do put it on a parent that's offset or scaled or something like that, just remember your position might have to be recalculated. But this doesn't have a parent that's moved around or anything, so we're safe. And then you're just checking the distance here. Now, we'll probably try to do an equals node. I think this should work. So we'll check the distance. If the distance is equal to 0, which means that the hand is directly on that point, then we know we're in a perfect pose, right? So then we could use this tolerance value to say that if it's within a certain range, it'll still say that it's correct. But you wanted points based on how the pose was. So maybe we'll just say remap instead. So maybe remap can say, so 0 to 100. We'll say if you're 100 pixels off, you're still pretty good. And we'll say if you're 0 pixels off, you're going to get 100 points. If you're more than 100 pixels, 100 or more off, you're going to get 0 points. And then we'll clamp that. And then I love that we have text in Effect House. So let's add that as well. So to add 2D text, which is my favorite, we'll add a screen image or, actually just a 2D scene object. And then we'll add 2D text. And then here we can just assign this text, set text. We'll just do an update so that we can see it update every frame. And then plug in this remap value into this text. Data convert automatically pops up so that we can convert it to a text. And then, so let's see. So it's basically, the left hand is basically always too far away from this. But if we move that to somewhere where the left hand is going to be at some point, let's see. It gets kind of close sometimes. Is the left hand the one on this side? I think the left hand is the one on that side. No? Let's increase this number. So the maximum, we'll say 300. And then you'll see sometimes it gets within that range. And then when it's, I think it is this one on the right. It's the body's left hand, right? Yeah. So you can see when it gets close, that value increases. So this is basically the bones of how to do that, a simple version of that gesture tracking. The other way that I think would be pretty long to dive into would be basically taking the rotation, the local rotation of all the bones. And you would just be kind of comparing each joint to see if the local rotation between the joint and its parent are close enough within a certain range to what you're looking for. And then you could throw out some joints, like if it's mostly an upper body pose, you don't have to look at the legs at all. But for each specific pose, you want to pick what joints are important for this pose, and calculate like a certain range of degrees of how close it has to be. And then for that version, you would really want to test it a lot, because you'll notice with like body tracking like this, it really matters how close you are to the camera, all that stuff, to get like a specific degrees in your arms and legs and stuff. But that was the version that I did in the past, the angle between joints. And I thought it worked pretty well, but sometimes simpler actually does work better. So something where you can visibly see, this is where my hand has to be on the screen. Usually that'll actually work better for users. I think more people will play your game if you do that.
We have a couple questions from the chat. Mozoli TV is asking, is it possible to have both body avatar drive and head tracker in one scene? And another creator, Relaxstro, is saying, the last time I tried it, it was not possible because it was very heavy to process for the devices and it affects the frame rate.
Could you repeat the middle part one more time? Sorry.
They were asking if you could have both body avatar drive and head tracker in one scene, and another creator was saying it wasn't possible for them because it was very heavy for the device, affecting the frame rate.
Yeah, so if you have, I could think of one reason why you would want to do that. So it would be good to do that if you want, when they're up close, your effect only works on their head. And then when they step back, you're using the full body. That might be a reason you would do that. Besides that, if you aren't doing that, you can just use this head bone, and that could replace your head tracker. You could just use that instead of the head tracker, so that whenever using body avatar drive, you still have the position of the head. Now, if you do need to, if you are doing it because you want somebody to be able to load the effect while they're close and then reload it again with body avatar drive when they're away, I think all you have to do is use this body detection. And if you, let's see, let's add a head tracker just to see. So if you have this head tracker, I would say, see how I have this set up? Well, maybe I'll make another one of these. We'll leave that one alone. I don't want to mess with that. But we'll say set visibility. Set visibility. I think okay, I'll keep it in mind. I think this is about as zoomed in as I can get for this part, but I can do a flyover of the other logic if you guys want. So we'll select the head tracker for this, and then we'll also select the body avatar drive. So let's see. When body detection begins, we want the head tracker to turn off. We want the body avatar drive to turn on because the body is fully detected. And then if you do this, you want to also say when body detection ends, when it can no longer detect a body, we want to switch these so that the head tracker turns on and the body avatar drive turns off. And this way, the head tracker and the body avatar drive are never going to both be on at the same time. It probably does mean that you have to do some stuff to set up your effect on both the head tracker and the body avatar drive. But as long as they're not both on at the same time, I think that performance impact shouldn't exist. I think you should be able to put both of them in. During the transition, maybe. So one thing you might do if you do still notice anything is put them ordered so that you always turn, so that you always turn something off before you turn the other one on. So these order it by these checkboxes. And then if you notice that, you could put a short timer between these so that it fully turns off for a whole frame before you turn the next one off. Wait for a second. Yeah, so I would just, if I was extra cautious, I might try something like this. The short wait, and then you'll know that it's not like turning something on while it's still in the process of turning some algorithm back off. And this might help in a pinch if you're experiencing something like that. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope it works as well as I suspect it does.
Thank you. Do you think you can share this project file to our Discord so people who attended today's session can go in and scroll for themselves?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Okay, we have one more related question from Effect House Noob. They're asking, I'm trying to have a 3D character cover the full body of a person, and I think the 3D models that they're using is too small and only covering like half of their body. How does someone modify either the character file or some setting in Effect House so that it fully covers the entire human's body?
Okay, so there could be a couple things going on. One thing that I would think is there's a lot of 3D models that are just not human shaped. So like if you have a very like short, round character or a character with like very short arms and legs compared to its torso, then it's not necessarily going to stretch those arms out. It's not going to like stretch the bones. So you have to make sure that it's like generally human shaped. The other thing, I think if it's set, the body avatar drive component has this follow body position, and I think as long as that's checked, it's going to. Oh wait, did it turn off? Oh, as long as it's checked, it's going to try its best to basically overlap the correct scale of the character. So you can try things like some of these values aren't controlled by body avatar drive. You can see it in the scene view that it's stretching it, but then this value must be getting overwritten by body avatar drive because that scale is not showing in the preview. So we can kind of know that this one is going to be controlled. If we change this scale, we can see, oh, interesting. The scale is set back to uniform, but the direction of the scale does seem to be affected. That's interesting. I love
that is actually a pretty fun look when you want to dance with someone, but you don't have any other friends that you can dance with. You can just flip it, and then you can do one of these moves, and then story of my life, no friends.
Maybe I can finally learn how to dance. So then from here, yep, still not going to be affected. Okay, one last try. Let's see what happens if we add a scene object. And then, oh no, almost there. If we parent body avatar drive to this, oh, now we got some weird stuff. Well, that's pretty weird. Sometimes it's fun to just post weird stuff. So don't be afraid to just, if you find something like that, post it as like my alien dancing friend or something. But yeah,
I think it's all about marketing, you guys. Even if you made it on an accident, just like act really confidently and say like, yeah, I definitely intended to make this weird alien shaping dancing friend.
I've been listening to an audiobook by Rick Rubin, and he talks about that all the time. He's like, some people go searching for like stuff that that happens by accident, and they just love releasing as fast as possible. And other people despise that and feel like this isn't my own idea because it happened by accident, and they just won't release it. I feel like you should be somewhere in the middle. But yeah, so if you want it to fit and it's not fitting, I think in general it'll just be the shape of the human. So try to use the let's see, there's this, I think I did get it from the website, this skeleton demo FBX file. So bring that into your 3D editing software and just make sure that the skeletons are simple enough or similar enough, and that they basically match the same shape and all of that stuff, and they start in the same T-pose, and that should be, I think you'll find whatever is not matching, and you'll be able to identify it. But yeah, I think it'll be a 3D model editing issue.
Yeah, if you've downloaded a model and it only reaches a little bit, what I would do is go open the file on Blender, and when you have the skeleton, just grab it and then scale it down just a little bit and see, if you right click, you should be able to apply automatic weights, and I think that should help a little bit. But yeah, let us know how your experiments go. I think rigging is difficult, but if you do it well, you can make really cool stuff and super fun. So maybe we have to do a session that's just dedicated to rigging and 3D models and body avatar drive. But thank you, Luca, for asking that question. I also know that Haley and Unifix has created a similar effect, so maybe they went on creating this effect in a different way. So if they did, let us us know in the comments. Say, hey, if you use XXX instead of blah, 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 you can get a closer match. Or if this is the strategy that I used. And I hope it was helpful. One last question for the day is by Dan. Dan is mentioning that my caseless iPad is a vibe. Yes, I am living life on the edge. But the question is, I've got a question for the question queue. Any thoughts on how to score a point after an image reaches a certain y-axis height? Wait, just a reminder to August to save the project file before opening a new project file, if you are.
Yeah, I'll open a new project file.
Any thoughts on how to score a point after an image reaches a certain y-axis height? Lift image with screen tap, score X if Y position is reached.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of ideas about that.
We love a tap game.
We do love a good tap game, don't we? Body avatar. Okay, just making sure that I save this in the correct places.
We are saving.
All right, so let's go back home. Click save again because I have anxiety. Open a new project.
Me too. I'm always like, did I save that file or did I just delete like 4 hours of my work?
Okay, so y-axis. So we'll have a screen image. And so this is when you tap, it goes up a little bit, and then you want to check if it's at the right height to see if you win. Okay. So we'll start with a finger touch node. And we'll start this object near the bottom. Let's see. So I'll just say the position, we'll do a get and a set. And we'll just say for this example that each tap just gives you a little bit of height. So we'll do an add node, vec2. And so we'll get the position and we'll add just 50 pixels of height. Oops, 50. And then we'll set that as the new position. So current position plus 50 set as new position. And then we'll use this on finger touch on start. So that's when you start touching. So that's generally how you get a tap. And then now, as we can see, if I tap, it'll go up the screen. Easy as that. And then the next thing we would do is we'll set a target. So this is we'll just say this is our player. It's like the subject of the game. We'll duplicate that and we'll have the target or the goal. So this is a pretty quick example, but let's just check what's in the asset library to fill this game out. We'll do Valentine's Day Bunny. And what's the goal for Valentine's Day Bunny? It's gonna be the balloon.
Yes.
Valentine's Day Bunny just missed their balloon, and we're gonna help them catch it before it flies away. Storytelling.
We love asset library.
So our goal will be this. And we'll put this at the top. And then our player will be Valentine's Day Bunny, my favorite anime right now. Anyway, so now as we tap, we just want to check, when does the bunny get to the goal? So we get the position of the goal, and we just want to check on the y-axis. So we'll get the position of the player as well. And then we don't have to do this on update. We don't have to do it every frame because we know it's not going to be moving unless we tap. So we only have to do it when this position is set. And then we'll do a greater than node. So we're going to check if the Y position is greater than the Y position of the other one. And then an if. So we're going to check this if, right? and then we'll do something if it's true. So right now we're going to check if the players, oh, yeah, we want to split. So this is how you get the Y, just the Y value. You'll use a split node with the position, and you'll just use Y. And then we can do the same thing with the goal. And we can just use the Y for that. Now we're saying, is the Y of the player greater than the Y of the goal? And as you can see, this is what I love about visual scripting. As soon as we plug it in, we can see the condition here. We can see that it's not true, so our logic is correct. And then if we click a bunch, we can see that it is true eventually. Let's see, if we move the pivot to the top of this, does that change that Y position to make it more early? Yeah. So you can change the pivot up to above the bunny so that as soon as its ears touch, it actually works.
I was just thinking, I just saw the bunny like float up, and we should have made it the opposite, where the bunny is on the top and then the clearly hot air balloon looking thing floats up to go to the bunny.
But how did
Why
the
would
bunny
the bunny need to fly to the air balloon if it already knows how to fly? But
I haven't passed this through my editor yet. So we'll probably cut a lot of the story and maybe just
restart from the story. But
we're gonna do
on to your main programming. Go back, yeah.
And then I think what I would do, okay, if this was like an effect contest and I only had 5 minutes to make an effect, I would be like, okay, well then the winning sequence to show that the player has won would just be, I'll just do something like this: a timer, 2 seconds when it's and then it's tick goes to add. So progress, and then 1. This means that when progress is 0, it'll be 1, and once progress gets all the way to 1, it'll be 2. And then we connect this, and the data converter will automatically set it up for us. So now it'll go from scale 1 to scale 2 over 2 seconds when we finish it, and that feels like a nice little animation to me. And if you want it to stop at that point, you would just create a variable called game complete. And then you would add a little bit of logic so that it doesn't keep winning every time. So we'll do a set and a get, and it should be very easy to just plug these in. So the game complete over there. And then this start is where we would want to put that. So as soon as the winning animation starts, we say the game is complete. And then over here, we just add an if. And we just say, put that through there. And we want to say if the game is not complete, the finger touch will interact. So that's why we use this false. And then as we can see, it will, the default of the game complete. Just make sure that you set that to false in this details. The details panel is the little info symbol. You want to make sure that the game isn't complete as soon as it starts. And then now when we click, you'll see I'm clicking. We've won, but I keep clicking, but now it's not working because the game is complete. So this is blocking it. Cool. So of course, add plenty more to it. Do a more complex animation, maybe add some sounds, maybe add some sparkles from the asset library. Write an entire 3 effect trilogy to make more sense of this bunny's journey.
We're gonna need some major storytelling there. But Dan is saying, thank you, this makes a lot of sense. Split the vec2, see if it's greater than set number, and if yes, add number to the score. Thank
Yep, that's all. That's about it.
Okay, sounds good. We have the final results of the poll going. How long do you think you'd survive in a zombie apocalypse? And you guys are either very not confident or very confident because they're at the two ends of the spectrum. You got 32% of you said zero survivor skills, and 36% of you, the biggest majority, said survival god. You guys think you're gonna survive in a zombie apocalypse? I love your confidence. Take me with you, please. And the other 22% said 1 week, and 10% said 3 months. So it's either the extremes. You're gonna die immediately, or you're gonna survive. You're Bear Grylls.
I'm sure I can find a way to make my programming skills protect me.
In the case of a zombie apocalypse. Maybe we'll have the flying bunny take us to an air balloon, which is a safe house on the sky.
Yes, I like
There
that
you go.
version.
There you go. Okay, guys, it was so nice to meet you and see you on the live. Dan is saying, I'm really rooting for this bunny. Me too. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. We're going to link the project files that we created today, the body avatar one and this flying bunny one in our Discord. So don't forget to go check it out. And goodbye. See you. Oh, later today at 4:30 p.m. So approximately like 5 hours from now, Melody is going to do a tutorial on the template. It was going to be last week, but we had some timing conflict, so we rescheduled it. But she's going to explain how you can use the Assemble Me template to make an awesome gaming effect. And it is awesome. If you guys have seen my TikTok video promoting this template, you will see how fun it is. But if you are interested in creating some kind of a gaming effect, definitely come by. It is going to be very informational and useful. So see you all very soon in a couple hours.
That was actually my idea. I really pushed for it. I was like, we should teach people how to add game parts to this. It'll be so fun.
Yes.
So if you like that, then let us know. Let us know if you like stuff like this because I think it's so fun.
I use so much of my iPad as visual. I should just really link it in the stream so I don't have to like flip my iPad without a case to show you guys on the screen. But thank you all for visiting. See you in a couple hours. Bye.
See ya. Have a good one.